welcome to a brand new edition of the MSG 150 at Home. As always, great to have you with us. Bill PIDTO, John Wallace, Alan Hahn, and we welcome Cam Smith to the ball club. Cam, great to see you, pal.
It's great to be back. How's everybody doing?
Good. Cam likes to talk about the fact that in his email it's SMTH because there's no I in Smith. That's not what they say when he played ball at Southern Illinois. That is for sure.
Hey, but there's an I in win, Bill. There's an I in win.
All right, Cam. We want to thank, as always, those who are on the front lines of fighting this pandemic, for all those putting forth the risk and the time to help it make it safe for all of us. And we got the basketball crew here together. We hope that the NBA is going to start. If it doesn't, we have some topic to talk about. But the one thing I want to mention to Cam and John is that Hahn keeps texting videos of him dunking in his backyard, and he makes it seem like the hoop is 10 feet. It's not 10 feet.
Listen, my daughter is the one who took the video in the driveway, by the way. Show some respect. And the hoop is better than Trae Young's hoop. I'm going to point that out as well.
I think our hoop is better than Trae Young's hoop.
And I told her, start where it says that it's set at 10 feet and walk it around. So you're now questioning the integrity of my 12-year-old daughter, Gracie, who took the video to ensure that it was not lower than 10 feet. It is measured at 10, and at almost 49 years old, I try to do one every year. I will say this, I got 2 of them. All right, so 2 takes we took, both of them went down. The third one hurt a lot, so I stopped.
The AC is still intact, that's all that matters.
Yeah, it feels better to sit down these days.
We hope the NBA resumes. If it doesn't, we have some things to talk about, namely John Wallace. If the season were to be done now, who would be your MVP?
My MVP would definitely be LeBron James. His 17th year in the NBA. He's 25 points a game, so over 10 assists a game in 35 minutes. I mean, that's unprecedented for your 17th year in the NBA. To be playing at the level he's playing at, to be first in the West right now, and playing at such a high level at 35 years old, and all that wear and tear and mileage on his body, and still averaging, 35 minutes a game. And I mean, he's just as productive as any player in the NBA right now. I think he lags a little bit behind Giannis in player efficiency, but he's right there. And Giannis is like, 25, 26. LeBron's 35. So LeBron James right now would be my definite MVP for the season.
Cam, who's going to do this here? Is it me or you? Who's going to?
I can start it off. I'll lob you. We'll do a little tag team here. I'll throw the lob. You just finish it home. So I mean, John, all great points. LeBron has had a phenomenal season, and kudos to him for doing this at this stage of his career and at his age. But come on, man, you have to think about most valuable player for your team. If you take off Giannis, who's my MVP, if the things would kind of continue for the NBA season, if you take him off that Milwaukee Bucks team, who might I add is the league best, and when it comes to points per game, when it comes to allowing opponents,
and they were the league best last year. Where'd it get them?
And also,
Got an MVP.
Yeah, and not a win. They get the ring.
Which is going to be back-to-back. So these are all things, if you take Giannis off that Bucks team, they're going to drop off so bad, probably wouldn't even be a playoff team in the East. You do the same thing for the Lakers. Oh, who do they have as kind of like the Robin, or should I say Batman, because he does lead the Lakers in a number of categories on that team, Anthony Davis. Then the Lakers will still be in the playoffs. So for me, Giannis is my MVP. Top 3 in scoring, top 3 defensive player. Come on, most valuable player, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Now, let me excuse John Wallace here for a minute. I mean, John and I were the old heads, right? So we always look for the old guys who are still able to play against the young guys and put up numbers. We have a soft spot for that. So you see LeBron, and he's definitely coloring the hair because, John, you know, probably some grays there that are going to start showing in a little bit. But there's no way. He was on his way maybe to MVP. The narrative, the conversation was starting for a couple of weeks about how, boy, is he playing at a level that if he continues this, he has a shot to steal the MVP away from Giannis Antetokounmpo. The problem is the season did not continue. So he wasn't able to finish the trajectory that he was on to take the MVP away. So based on that, not based on what he could have done to finish the season, he hadn't done enough yet, in my opinion, to take it away. Giannis did it for the entire season once again, the most unstoppable force in the game. Really is. And the guy can't shoot outside of 10 feet. We all know that, which makes even more incredible what he can do on the court. He's done it longer. LeBron was close, but he didn't run through the tape. So you can't take it away from Giannis. He's the MVP.
Alan, the tape was only like 15 more games left. I mean, is that the determining factor in the MVP? 15 games?
Wait. When you run a marathon, if you almost get to the tape, are you the winner? If you were catching the guy in first, but you didn't catch him, are you
in the marathon, when you have such an insurmountable lead, you just cruise to the victory tape, which LeBron was going to do if the season would have continued.
Oh, right, speaking of that guy,
he's number one in the West, not number one in the East.
Get in my face, John. Get in my face.
Back up.
Overall.
Come on, man.
Talk about an early lead in the Rookie of the Year. Ja Morant, huge lead, but Zion Williamson, 19 games played, averaging almost 24 a game. What do you guys think, Alan, when it comes to Rookie of the Year?
It's the same thing. I really did feel like Zion had a shot, especially if he pushed the Pelicans to overtake the Grizzlies for the last playoff spot in the West. Then you could put up that fight, even if if he played less than 40 games, it would have been 37, 36 games, whatever it is, if he didn't miss another game the rest of the season. And you would argue, like, how could you possibly win Rookie of the Year when you played less than half the season? That's how good he was playing. And also, if you jump over the Ja Morant's team to get a playoff bid, I think then you would have seen a lot of the writers. Remember the writers' vote on this, that the writers might have given him that vote because clear cut, he was a dominating rookie. But once again, didn't run through the tape. The season didn't end. So at this point, Ja Morant had it, and he keeps the crown.
Ja Morant had it locked up already, Alan. 17 points a game, 50% from the field, almost 8 assists a game, and they got the 8th playoff spot. He locked it in. No matter how Zion could have ended the season great and all that, but he didn't play enough games to be even considered for the Rookie of the Year, in my opinion.
Damn, who's your NBA champion? Damn, who wins the championship? Who's your champion?
I'm going to say Ja Morant's my Rookie of the Year, but if I'm talking, Bill, to answer your question, NBA champ is going to have to be the Los Angeles Clippers. I think they have enough in terms of what they bring from a star standpoint or superstar standpoint with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. And you remember how they finally were healthy. And we started to see the Clippers in full strength, and that was scary. Now, of course, the Lakers knocked them off with their last meeting, but at the same time, this is a Clippers team that has everything that you need. I mentioned the 2 superstars and Leonard and George. But then you have the additional players, the role players, like a Lou Will off the bench, a Montrezl Harrell, who was really putting up a great season, one of the best seasons that he's had in his career. And you think about what they can do defensively as well with Ivan Zubac, and you talk about Pat Beverly, Chicago guy. You know I got to get that in there. But these are the players that make Doc Rivers and this Clippers team so difficult to beat in a 7-game series. We're not just talking about, okay, well, you face them one game and you don't have to play them for another week or another month in the season. You have to beat these guys 4 out of 7 games. I can't see any team doing that, so the Clippers are my NBA champs.
Now,
quickly, Han and John, who's your NBA champ?
We've been talking about MVPs, and my champ's Clippers just like Cam, but we've been talking MVPs, that's LeBron and Giannis and all that, but the best player in the NBA is Kawhi Leonard. And he was going to prove it in the playoffs this year. He had his Batman to his Robin is Paul George, who was kind of playoff MVP discussion last year. He was coming off injuries. But like Cam was saying, they're finally getting full strength, coming full circle. Doc Rivers was feeling good about the way they were heading. He's a championship coach. They had a championship team, and like you said with the defense, Cam, Patrick Beverly, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard on the perimeter, the best 3 perimeter defenders in the NBA, and they're all on the same team. It's going to make it really hard out for them in the playoffs.
On one word, one that's tough for you, but one word, who's your champ?
I only get one word.
We got to go. We got to go.
You already went over your one-word allotment, huh?
Yeah. Depth. Clippers, yes.
All right. Just getting started. A lot to get to here on the MSG 150 at home. Up next, the former Jet, Marty Lyons, on how the pandemic has hit close to home and what he expects for the Jets on draft day. Stay with us, everyone.